Trojan Family, what's up, man? USCJ here. It's the top of the morning. Listen, I hope everybody is getting ready to get up, get out, and make some things happen this morning. Listen, we got to talk about USC, really the state of USC as it relates to recruiting. And this question was posed to me. The question is this: is USC dropping the ball as it relates to Southern California recruits? This is a question that's been kind of an ongoing thing, especially when Lincoln Riley got into the coaching at USC, became the head coach. A lot of people feel like that USC is not really showing the California players, rather, the love that once was by Pete Carroll. That was the question that was posed to me. Now, I'm gonna state it like this, and I'm gonna lay the groundwork. I'm gonna lay the foundation, and we'll talk about it. I'm in a group chat, and the only reason I'm gonna just kind of talk about it briefly is because the question was posed to me. Here USC. Well, Jay, here's a topic you could talk about. Now, this is a group chat, and it's made up of mostly players, parents that and all their kids play in college sports, whether it's at Arizona State, a lot of West Coast schools, all over. A few at USC, and but of course you guys know. Not gonna mention any names, but it was some back and forth going on, and there was a question posed to me, Jay. Is USC basically? This is not verbatim, but is USC basically dropping the ball as it relates to Southern California recruits? And everything is stemming from Bosco had an event. St. John Bosco had an event, and a lot of college coaches from all over were at this event, and there was apparently no USC coach to be found. Now, my response to that was, as the conversations in this group thread was going back and forth, was there should have been a coach there to represent USC, period. I don't care who it is. You could put whether it was an analyst, whatever, just somebody there needed to represent USC just to have their footprint at the Bosco territory and on the Bosco campus. I totally agree with that. And so that was kind of my comment in the chat. However, another parent and his kid happens to be at USC, but I'm not going to go there. But he basically talked about USC. He put the USC recruiting class up, and, he showed where USC is currently at the number 3 ranking right now, according to On3, which is some information that I brought to you guys just not too long ago. And so he put that up, and I told him, I said, look, well, here's my comment. I'll read my comments, but I'm not going to get into everybody else's comment. But my comment was I said, does that mean that they are going after the best available talent regardless of location? Because when you look at our class right now, whether it's Justice Terry, of course, you guys know, whether it's Isaiah Gibson, all these guys, man, you name it, Stubbs, all these guys are from all over. USC has really put together a class that's nationally, like a nationally brand type class. And I think that really speaks to the ability and the capability of a place like USC, able to pull guys in from all over. And so we talked about that, and it was kind of going back and forth. And his son happens to play, at USC. He said Pete Carroll, because everybody started talking about the Pete Carroll era. And so you guys won't think that I'm being biased. This was a guy, his son actually is still there right now. He said Pete Carroll has always recruited nationally. I said, bro, you're absolutely right. Pete Carroll has always. And so and after that, he made that comment, my comment was this. I said, Keith Rivers, Florida, Nelson Aguilar. Now, mind you, this is a big group of guys, man, West Coast guys. As I stated, their kids play all over. A few of them playing at USC. And so this is a big conversation going on. And my comment was this: Keith Rivers, just remember, Pete Carroll recruited nationally, and I was responding back to another guy. And so Keith Rivers, Florida, Nelson Aguilar, Florida. This was all what Pete Carroll did. Dwayne Jarrett, New Jersey, Lofa Tatupa, Massachusetts, Mike Williams, Florida, Joe McKnight, Louisiana, Brian Cushing, New Jersey, Emmanuel Moody. You guys remember he was like the number 1 running back that came out, Texas. And I said there's more, but I didn't even get into all those guys. There is more. And so USC, my response and my reaction is USC has always recruited nationally. Now, how does that translate now to where recruiting is right now? Because some think that USC is actually not recruiting the local guys. They're not recruiting the Southern California guys. And I kind of look. Let's put it on the table. Let's just really all put it on the table. I don't want anybody speculating. It might not be all the players you want, but I can tell you right now, we tried to get Jericho Johnson, right? Big time defensive tackle. I know we tried to get Dakota Fields. I know we tried to get Roderick Pleasant. There were several guys that USC tried to get. I know for sure. And if for whatever reason, those guys just decided to go elsewhere. They decided to look other places. Now, is that to say that we're doing the best job? Of course, you guys know Ryan Palem, the receiver, as well. We struck out with him. We thought we had him, but he ended up going in another location. Of course, you guys know he went to Oregon. So the thing is, I think now even more so than ever, USC has always recruited from a national perspective, and but I do think there need to be foot soldiers on the ground as it relates to being able to go to places like Bosco, more so modern day. Of course, even the local schools, man. Whether it's I don't care, man. I mean, it doesn't matter. You can go to Inglewood, Hamilton. You go to Westchester. It doesn't matter. Sarah, Long Beach Poly. You need to go to these schools. Centennial and Compton. I don't care. Those schools, I just think it needs to be an assertive effort to go to schools in the inner cities. That's my opinion. But do I think USC is trying to recruit from California? I think they are. And even guys like Carson Cox, you guys know I'm big on Carson Cox, man. It hurt my heart, but he had to do what's best for him. But I did think he had an opportunity the first time he came, but he didn't commit. When the first running back coach was here before he left, I know he could have committed then, but he wanted to do his trips, which rightfully so. You guys know I did a little YouTube short about it. These guys need to get their trips in, take their trips. That's part of the process. Enjoy your trip. But I would have loved to have Carson Cox. But at the end of the day, man, I know USC, you can't get them all. There's some guys like Jordan Davis, some running backs. Of course, you guys know the other running back out of San Diego, Roderick, his last name is slipping my mind. Big running back. I hated to even, it didn't seem like we were on his radar. Well, we USC was on his radar, or vice versa. I don't know what happened with that, but that was a kind of a weird situation. But do I think we could do a better job as a program? Absolutely. But do I think we're recruiting California? Absolutely. I don't think we're not recruiting. You got guys like Ryder Lyons, not Walker. I was getting ready to say Walker, but Ryder Lyons. I know we're recruiting guys like that. So you guys can hit me in the comment section. Everybody has their opinion about it. But as this other individual said, whose son happens to play with USC, I believe that USC is recruiting, and I agree with him. It has always recruited nationally, and we see it now. We see it with USC, kind of similar to the way Pete Carroll was doing, as far as getting some of those big time players out of the state, like we said with Keith Rivers, Dwayne Jarrett. But it was quite a few California players. Now, do we have a lot of Texas players? Yes, we have a lot of Texas players, more so than we've had in the past. We've had, the Ronald Jones, Buck Allen was from Florida. But we didn't have this many, I think, Texas players running back wise as we do now. You kind of have a little California sprinkled in there, but hey, it is what it is, man. So you guys can drop those comments, man. Do you think USC is dropping the ball on the California recruits? Don't forget, we got Malachi Nelson. You guys know how I feel about Bishop Gorman. I used to live in Vegas for 5 years. I think Vegas is an extension of LA. So, Zachariah Branch, those guys in Gorman, some of the other guys we're recruiting from the state of Nevada. USC has absolutely tried to pursue those guys. So you guys can drop those comments. You guys can tell me what you think. Where do you guys see USC at as it relates to California recruiting? Is USC dropping the ball in your mind? You guys can drop those comments. You guys can tell me what you think. This was just a conversation that I was having, so I just went ahead and did it based on some of the encouragement from another individual that was in that chat. Said, Jay, go ahead and talk about this, man. So I had to put it out there. So look, man, hit me in the comments. You guys tell me what you think. You guys already know where you can find me. It's USCJ32 on Instagram, USCJ32 on Twitter. Listen, until later on, everybody stay blessed. Fight on, fight on, fight on.